Listen, it's a cold open for a reason, y'all. And coming off the heels of the last episode, it's a lot going on. But I got to skip over the sudden suspense, and we got to talk about this. You walk in the hospital, hold your daughter for the first time, one of the happiest moments of your life, and then you notice over your shoulder this nigga that you suspect that your wife is hitting on the side is in the hospital room and drove her.
Mm.
Now you know you the reason why this is going on. You know you ain't shit for missing your daughter's birth. However, what is on your mind? And it was beautiful camera work, y'all. Beautiful camera work to pan over to Ted with the big grin on his face. And Skylar adding the sauce on it, like, oh, thank God he was here to take me. He would have had to deliver it himself. What's going on, man? Mo, I'm gonna start with you just because you are a father. If could you imagine walking in the delivery room and there's another man, a man that has a relationship with your wife in that room with you at that time?
Listen, I would literally have to say a prayer. I literally would have to say a prayer because
Out loud.
out
Out
loud.
loud.
Like, hey, like touch and agree.
Like together, or just use solo prayer. Like
I might
just
say-
all let's come together and pray.
I might have to step out for a second. Like, I need this is solo, me and God right now because
Okay.
last time we talked, you were going to get him a birthday cake for a job event, and I'm asking why you. Now I show up and he's over there, and the only reason I say that not because I'm trying to fold him, but because I can't. When you know being in a relationship, you don't want to ruin this moment because you're going to have an issue. I think about the scene from Martin where Martin was so upset that Gina borrowed money from Cole.
Yeah, why you ain't get me out the shower?
He never like they moved on and everything. So why didn't you? Like he could not get over that, and like this could have been a ruined moment, knowing that your wife just gave birth to your daughter, and so like, bro, I literally
even
I have to.
I'm sorry, Mo, just to say this, because even if you did drive her, even though I know I'm a scumbag and you drove her and I'm thankful for that, why you in the room?
Mm-hmm.
They got when you pregnant, they got the people come out with the wheelchairs. They'll take her up. Why you in the room? And if you did happen to escort her to the room, why you still here? Like all of this has got you got me fucked up all the way around. Even though
But
I
you
know I'm
open
in
the
the
door
wrong.
for this though. That's what I'm
I
saying.
know
Yeah,
that's what.
exactly.
That's why it's
Exactly.
hard. That's why it's hard. I can't. You got to play it like Walt did. You really can't say nothing, but you got to say something.
You can't say nothing. You just missed the birth of your child selling
Yeah.
drugs. Like it really you can't say nothing.
You gotta say
Like
something.
everything
You
you're
can't,
saying
but
is
you should.
absolutely right, but you can't say nothing.
No,
Like
I know.
you literally like you was dubbing your pregnant wife to go to go sell pounds of meth. Like what kind of despicable human being are you, bro? Like the worst niggas don't do that. The
Yeah,
worst
that's real.
niggas in the world don't do that. Like if you take breaks for something, this nigga like he put it all on the line on his daughters. Of course, he didn't know it was gonna happen. I get that, but this the choices that this dude make it hard to watch this again and like feel sorry for him ever.
Nah,
I
I
agree with
got
what
thoughts
y'all was
on.
saying. I'm more and more on Team Skylar than I ever thought I could be.
Yeah, same. And I
I
think
got thoughts on
She's
that.
making way more sense than anybody else in this show.
yeah,
Yeah, for
I'll say
sure.
too. There's something that we're starting to see the strong duality of Walter and Heisenberg. This episode is like to me the definitive. We're seeing it in real time, teetering back and forth. There's a scene in this episode later when we get to that point where you see the teetering of Heisenberg versus Walter White. So
Yeah, he's becoming a lot more brazen, that's for sure, and confident in that brashness that he has. But it's regarding, and you're right. That's what makes this frustrating, brilliant, hilarious. The fact that he can't say anything, like all of this, even the problems he has with his money. Like we see Walt's ego just playing a role, and that's what kind of makes this or takes things over the top. Even the thank you and the goodbye, like the kiss on the cheek, bro. Get the fuck out the fucking room, bro. You've done enough, my
And
nigga. You've done enough.
again, that's another breadcrumb for me and my theory. Like she knows at this point that this nigga sell drugs. She know it. I'm just doing anything that I can to like send you over the edge so I can say, oh, for real? That's the way you want to do this? And drop the bomb on
yeah,
her. I think she knows right now.
I'm starting to
Because
be
like you said, why is she in it? Why is he here?
Yeah,
Like
because
Marie
you
couldn't
playing
come
with me.
get you.
Well,
You playing with me.
well,
That's
and
it.
then it's like you're taking this way too well. And I get that you just had like a birth is a beautiful thing, but you're taking it like if I'm them,
Facts.
as a man, if you know you slipped up, you're looking for it's coming, and you see her
Yeah,
like
especially if she extra nice, you know she like, oh shit, this worse than I thought. This worse than I thought.
bro, you
Hey,
hit it right on the nose, bro. Exactly. This is worse than I thought. That's
Facts.
perfect.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then
that
what was
shit
his
crazy.
excuse? Traffic?
Traffic,
Is that what
yeah.
he said?
So
In Albuquerque?
let's circle back to the beginning. So we see the abandoned Deanza Motor Lodge. Walt hauling ass in that Aztec. Hauling ass. That's when he gets the phone call from Marie. He's telling her, I'm on a 40 right now looking at brake lights. Like literally, you see him getting emotional about the birth of his daughter. Is she beautiful? All of that. And then literally in the same breath, lie about why I'm not there and I'm in traffic and this, that, and the third. And we see him carrying bags, plural, bags of meth into this abandoned ass, dusty ass fucking hotel or motel. Like it's just, bruh, that just shows you where your priorities are and who you really are. I don't care about the little fake emotional, is she beautiful shit. Where you are is who you really are. And that's what's crazy about it. So the Ted part of it, and then Skylar saying she forgot her bag, which Skylar still was nice. Listen, we just had a daughter. If you're gonna pull some shit like that, you better have a baby in the room because Skylar really could be on your ass about why did you miss this. She hit him with "I wish you was here," but that was it. But she says I forgot my bag. Walt said I'm gonna go get it, and then we see him staring down $1.2 million, which is really what it's all about. He gave that money the same look he gave Holly, and he was
The
proud of that shit. He
duality.
was proud of that shit. Like you know what I mean? Like that's his baby too. Like he had two kids this day. So um, wild ass scene.
What did y'all? What did y'all
I'm
make
just
up?
saying, man. I would like to think that a woman would know if a woman's having my child. I would think she would like to know, like, nigga, hey, I don't care if you drove me or not. Get the fuck out, bro. Because this nigga can be here any minute, and if he in here when you in here, I know it's not gonna blow up. I'm not gonna blow up because, like you said, you got to keep the peace, the birth of the kid. But just the idea of it, it's always funny looking from the outside, and that shit blew my mind when that camera panned over. I'd have been like, motherfucker,
Hey,
get out.
they needed to give. They need to have a David Banner Spike Lee moment. You know what I'm saying?
Could you imagine that was Tony? Or
Need a
could you
hard-
imagine?
hard
Could you
shot.
imagine
Bring
if
you in with this strong hook.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. I'm glad you
like?
brought her.
Could you imagine if Tony? Could you imagine if Tony would have come home that night when Father Phil was over and they was watching movies and he giving her communion? Could you imagine he just walked in on that shit?
Oh my god.
Like 4 in the
It's-
morning, this nigga sleep.
What Carmela on her knees?
Yeah, she was on her knees, bro. They did that nasty, bro.
Hey, listen.
Hey, Spike Lou, she was on her knees with the mouth open, waiting for him.
Wait
And she was
for it.
waiting on the drop.
Hey, listen. Tony's reaction would have been how he was looking at Janice on the news. Remember how Tony was looking at Janice on the news, eating up the soccer mob, like he was so confused. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, oh, that shit hilarious.
I wanted to
man.
ask though, but what did y'all make of the wheel? Like obviously there's intentionality. He throws the spare wheel out of the car and it rolls over a phone and towards the camera, then it transitions to the hospital. Did y'all make anything of that? I was trying to figure something out, like what were they going for? But
I wanted to, but I just didn't. Like it was, I felt like I would have had a Mo Reach moment,
okay.
and I was just like, let me chill.
I didn't.
Leave that to Mo. You know. With that being said, I think it's a good time to get into the episode. What's the word, good people? Back at it again. Another episode of No More Half Measures, a Breaking Bad podcast. I'm your host, Rich, joined by the world class Maurice Hunt III and the legend Spike Lou. Fellas, how y'all feeling this week?
Can't complain. Another week in the books to be doing no more half measures. Happy to
Cooking.
be here.
No doubt, man. We appreciate all y'all out there. Thank you for joining us once again. Can't do this without you. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, comment. If you want to get a hold of us, Instagram, NMHM NM_HM Breaking Bad Pod. Once again, that's NM_HM Breaking Bad Pod. And you can email us at no more half measures pod at gmail.com. Y'all know what it is. We're getting straight to the comments. And let's go ahead and start. I believe we got a DM from Monica. Shout out to Monica. I believe this was on our last episode. Great episode last week. It is so hard to watch the tequila scene. I understand standing up for yourself, but to do so while harming your son, trash behavior. On the other hand, they finally got the water heater fixed. And I have to say, I LOL when he showed up to breakfast in the hazmat suit. Just too ridiculous. That was some wild shit. Walt was fooling. LOL, your all's discussion made a very mid-pack episode worth watching. Thank you. Monica, we appreciate you. That's actually one of my favorite compliments when people say, the episode wasn't that good, but listening to y'all made it worth it or whatever the case is. That's truly is one of my favorite
this
compliments.
Monica's first time watching it, I believe.
Her first time watching the show?
I think I heard her say that on Breaking Bad. I think I heard her say that on
Good Honors.
Yeah, that this was her first time watching Breaking Bad.
Okay,
so I wonder what she thinks so far. Yeah,
we gotta verify that. Yeah, I do want to understand where she is.
Yeah, especially if she watching it week to week.
Yeah, when she got hooked. So that's interesting. We got another DM.
Mo, real quick, Mo, did Monica say this is her first time watching Breaking Bad when you were talking to her on Good Honors? Oh, it's not her first time watching.
No, that's not her first time.
Oh, I thought I heard her say that.
It might be her first rewatch, maybe.
Okay, bet. We got one from our guy Bernard. Bernard wrote in again. He said, "Yo, I used to DM on the Good Earners IG, but moved over here now since catching up. Just wanted to say that cool chicken analogy was spot on. Breaking Bad is some cool chicken, but I still enjoy it for what it is. I'm farther than y'all on my rewatch. This is my third time watching the series in full, and definitely see some moments now where I'm like, man, fuck Walt, fuck Walt, but it's later in the series. I gotta say, having more compassion for Cersei Lannister than Walter White was a wild ass statement. Thank you, Bernard. Thank you, bro. I can't believe he said that, and he still stands on it. That shit crazy. That's insane. I'm definitely not in that camp, and I don't know how you can be there in season 2 of Breaking Bad. But shout out to the pod. I always have to reiterate how much I appreciate having the black perspective on a podcast where I can join the convo with similar people. We definitely appreciate you, brother. Always, we're gonna give it.
Appreciate that, Bernard.
Yeah, we're gonna keep that real and authentic conversation going. We got a YouTube comment on season 2, episode 8, Better Call Saul. City of Troy wrote in, the introduction of the Saul Goodman character literally saved the show for me on my first watch too. Absolutely. Shout out to Troy, man. He know ball.
Facts.
That changed the whole landscape of this. And also he wrote, I don't know if this is the same episode, but City of Troy wrote, I love how y'all continue to call Skinny Pete Stinky Pete. Every time I hear it, I crack up. Keep up the great breakdowns. We appreciate you. That's always going to be stinky. That's always. The first time I tried to correct y'all, like, yeah, y'all know it's skinny. Like, we don't care. That nigga stinky.
Stinky Pete, for sure.
That's black people. That's black people for you, bro. I don't care what they call you, nigga. Your mama call you Clay, I'm going to call you Clay.
I'm going to call him Clay.
That's hilarious.
All right. We got, of course, our email from our guy, Chemical Reaction.
The legend.
On Ted. She on Ted now. Acid Jacks. Fellas, maybe Vince Gilligan was broken bad from the jump also. From all the scenes you could jack from Sopranos, this is what you ride with? In case there was any confusion, the Teddy now, Mr. President of Beneke, blow the candles before I blow my fucking brains out birthday scene is one of the most diabolical displays of deplorable workplace behavior in television history. I'm talking all shows, all seasons, hands down disgusting. I couldn't agree more. That shit made me cringe in real time.
Nasty.
Ted said, I want to hear it first. Was I the only one that got me? Was I the only one that got me strong veto? You got to wait for that flashbacks from this line.
Exactly.
In these moments, be it Teddy or Skyler or Vito or on Johnny Cakes, one thing is clear. Motherfuckers are chomping at the bit for the throat rockets. Hey, the throat rocket is insane.
Throat rockets.
I'm talking dick up. Like, hey man, I'm not even reading the next line. Man. Hey, Acid Jack, you going too far, man.
You go too far.
It's the first time I had to edit. It's the first time I had to edit the email, bro. I'm not doing it.
How about that?
Oh shit! I'll tell y'all afterwards what he said. But this nigga wild. Sidebar. Hats off to Skylar's character development. The forensic accountant tip was hinted at way early in the first couple episodes when she uncovered the $12.50 discrepancy on Walt's credit card. As much as most of the second season has been cheeks, the little setups for future payoffs on the show are pretty good vibe. Golf clap to Spike Lee saying from the start how Skylar is one of one on finding the breadcrumbs and sniffing out the bullshit. Spike Lee was on that from day one. That's all. That's all. Excuse me. That all said, I still don't understand Ted's thirst. Each to their own taste, I guess. But a real one knows no matter how much salt and pepper you throw on the chicken, some hoes will forever remain unseasoned. And Skylar a freak, but the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Hey, Maurice Hunt III knows what I'm talking about. Even Melfi Monday's Mochaccino and his weapon grade horniness would agree Skylar is a straight up ankle grab. I'll move on.
You got me.
I'll move on, but let's just say that birthday scene would make even the cringiest Michael Scott scenes from The Office throw up in their own mouth. Speaking of, I see you, Jane. Oh, damn.
Oh, that's cold.
Back on that horse. Respect to the director of the scene. Excuse me. Respect to the director for the scene of Jesse and Jane getting under the hammer. Maybe it was Train Spotting or Requiem for a Dream homage. Requiem for a Dream is a fucked up, wild ass movie. But let's be real. Big Rich Town has zero fucks to give for that 18-month sobriety chip as he swirls the biggest wine glass in town. Hey, I got that shit right now.
The biggest wine glass.
Got the LeBron wine glass.
It's Spike rocking the Dare t-shirt in this motherfucker of all episodes had me weak. Friends of the show, peep the YouTubes if you have not already. As Mo would say, shout out to the junkies. Peace and Acid Jacks. P.S. Rich, this is the bit where you throw it over to Spike's synopsis. Thank you. With that being said,
hey,
shout out to our
Acid Jack, the only person that got the Dare thing for that show for that episode.
Right.
That shit's hilarious. And Acid Jacks, thank you for that reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that reminder because I definitely had it on my mind. But before we get into it, there will be spoilers and explicit content. The shout out to Jane comment right after the throw up in your own mouth was insane.
Throat rockets.
All of it, all the above. Spoilers and explicit content. Today's episode, we're on season 2, episode 12, the penultimate episode, titled Phoenix. This episode was submitted for Best Lead Actor in a Drama Series at the Emmys for Bryan Cranston. He won that award for this episode. It premiered May 24th, 2009. Directed by Colin Buxey. Both of y'all had the...
They glossing. What the kids
Both
say?
of y'all had the face.
What the kids say now? They glazing. They glazing.
That's super glaze.
That's glazing. Best actor for this episode?
For this episode. This was second in a row. 2 in a row. Nigga, 2 times.
I've seen better work from Artie Bucco.
Jordan 92. Directed by Colin Buxey, written by John Shaban. Show is currently streaming on Netflix if you were looking for it. And of course, we get to one of the best parts of the episode. Spike Lou, you got a synopsis for us, my brother?
I do, Brother Rich. Someone please call 911. Jesse has been robbed. Jane's dad discovers why she's been acting all weird lately and missing her meetings. Walt wants Jesse to straighten his act up, man. So he says he'll hold something as Jesse's until Jesse can get right. But Jane has a different plan, and she knows what's best for her and her man. This is season 2, episode 12, entitled Phoenix.
It's like it's both of ours. We're just gonna keep it at my house.
Yeah,
What a funny motherfucker, man.
Hey, man. I can't wait till we get there.
Oh shit, man.
The terror I would have rained down on Walt life if I was Jesse, boy.
He ain't built like that. Jesse ain't built like that. We seen that.
Oh man.
We get Jesse and Jane in bed. They laid out, y'all. The phone is ringing, and it's Jane's phone. We hear that she overslept for a meeting with her dad. We don't know what kind of meeting. We can assume, but it really wasn't displayed. But she overslept for a meeting with her dad. I know, but at this time of the episode, we don't know what kind of meeting she was late for. We just know she's saying she overslept, and she was going to be on her way. We don't know if she's supposed to meet for breakfast, whatever the case is. Yeah. We get it in the next scene. But either way, all we know is she lied to her dad about it. She didn't oversleep. She over at Jesse's. Jane lets Jesse know that someone broke in, just very casually. And then he immediately checks under the sink once he comes to and realizes that the meth is gone. Fellas, what are we thinking at this moment as we get this opening scene in the episode?
Do y'all think they just been laid up over there getting high, like for days
Yeah.
on end?
Yeah, they stink. That room stinks.
Their house, their house stink.
Yeah, that whole house stink, bro. Everything in there.
Your hair
That
stinks.
shit's, yeah, really. That shit's terrible. But that's what they've been doing.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, boy, like I was watching. I told you I was watching The Corner recently, and there's a scene in The Corner where it's like based on addicts or whatever. So these addicts on one side of the street, they see another dude and he's doing the fiend lean, and he's leaning so hard, and they're like, man, how is he doing that? And then there's a later scene where they said a dude got so high he fell out a window. And they had to take him to the hospital. And then the dude was like, man, I got to have what he got. And so I looked at this scene. I was like, what? And I looked at the scene. I'm like, yo, you are on that stuff for real. You have no recollection of being dumped with water tortured and slapped the hell out of by Walter. Bruh, I was like, God, like
The
he's
nigga forgot for a whole day. Like he didn't even know.
Genuinely confused, like not even using logic to say who would know, bust my door open, go to the spot where like he didn't even put logic together. That's how far gone.
Have it ever happened to y'all before? It ain't never happened to you when you
like
woke up.
like a hangover type thing, like look around, like what happened?
Yeah, you like, what the fuck?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but not to this degree.
Not on no shit like that. Yeah. Not on shit like that. But I remember freshman year of college waking up in the wrong bed. Like nobody else is in it. It was just the wrong bed. I realized somebody had to take me. Like I woke up with just shorts on. Like I didn't know how the fuck I got home. Putting pieces together.
Yeah.
It was one of them. It was my first time ever getting drunk for real.
Oh, okay.
Like getting drunk. Not drinking, but like getting drunk.
Yeah.
And I just overdid it, and I was fucked up. I had to put the pieces together later, and I was, oh man.
He's like, boy, I'm glad nothing happened, boy.
Yeah, for real. For real. Shout out, man. For real. Shit keep going a lot.
No, it's real. It get real like that. Shout out to the bros, man.
18 years old, man. That shit was crazy. Peppermint schnapps.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what the fuck was I doing?
Wow, I was on that skull.
Oof.
Yeah.
The vodka?
Yeah, this scene was
shit. Damn.
This scene was it was nuts. It, like you said, Mo, would tell you about how Jane and Jesse, like with the world they've been in. They've been on their own too. We over here just getting high, freaking, just living life, laying up, sleeping at 3, 4 in the afternoon, like real disgusting behavior. You know, I'm degenerate. That's what I was looking for. Real, like just degenerate behavior.
Yeah, it is. It's nasty. It really is. And you just see the shift of them and where they started this relationship. I think of the very first time Jesse trying to get find somewhere to live and just how kind of cold she was, but you can tell there was some kind of chemistry. And even that first scene when you see them in the lawn chairs holding hands for the first time, you don't see it going here. So to see it go to this point, it is kind of wild. So yeah. And just to know that just to not remember that a whole motherfucker he didn't just like pick the lock. He beat your door down. And you have no memory or recollection of that. That's insane to me. But it is what it is. Any other thoughts on this before we move on? All right. So we find out what the phone call was about from her dad. Jane are at a recovery meeting. We see Jane fidgeting, spending that 18-month coin. A guy sharing his story. But afterwards, they go to like a diner or something like that, and Jane and her dad are catching up. Her dad suspects something going on. He doesn't want to really pressure her, but he knows something's up, so he's trying to ask him a question. She asked him how his job, he mentioned he didn't like her working in the tattoo shop, and she asked how his job was doing. And he says, I'm just doing some backup training on my days off. They just hiring anyone these days. Talk about a breadcrumb. Talk about a breadcrumb. They just hiring anyone these days. The irony of that statement by the time we get to the end of the season. Ask if she's seeing anyone specifically. And she said, nah. And he asked, what about the guy next door? It was pretty clear he was waiting on you to introduce me. And she said, man, he's a tenant. I don't date tenants. she's still playing it cold with her dad. Do you think that's because she's protecting her own self? He knows that if you're dating someone like that, you're likely to be using again, which isn't wrong. Or do you think she's just like, man, I ain't even trying to get him in my business? Like, which one do you think it is?
The father's sensitive to her triggers. I think he clearly shows up to all of the AA meetings with her. That's the indicator. I think that they were, like we see a later scene talking about just gotta love them. And I think that he knows how she lies, which prompts a later scene. I just think that he knows her triggers, and he picked up that like dude looked like he was looking for something more than just, oh, this is my tenant. This is so I think he's concerned with her triggers. Like he takes it very serious. And so that's where I think he was coming from.
Yeah, he feels her slipping away. Like he knows what's been important to her. He knows, as we can tell before she met Jesse, how like it seemed like she was on this regimen where she had it figured out on how she was gonna stay clean. Now she missing meetings. Now she missing phone calls. Now she ain't answering the phone. And he knows it and he sees it slipping. So he prying at the areas as to, okay, what's happening? What's changed? What have I noticed has changed? And it's this weird dude saying next door that I probably wouldn't approved of, but you didn't ask me about. You just kind of trying to snuck him in here. Because I'm sure she probably run the other tenants by him. And that was probably his first red flag. But yeah, this is a good job in setting up what we see for the rest of the episode as well.
Understood. Understood. I definitely get the same vibe from it. I loved how her dad noticed and knew what was going on with her. I don't really have anything else to add to the scene. If y'all don't, we can go ahead and move on. All right. Walt and Skylar at home with Holly. I've been calling her Hope before she even got here. I finally had to remember her name's Holly, not Hope. Holly is actually the name of Vince Gilligan's daughter. So I'm sure there's some parallel there. He did that on purpose just to honor his daughter. But Walt and Skylar are at home with Holly. The phone rings and Flynn answers.
Hello? Hello? I didn't answer. Like, why you answer the phone like that, bro?
Why are you doing it like that?
Hello?
Bro, get the Tootsie Roll out your mouth, bro.
That wasn't even it, bro. It's when he said nobody's there. And he hung up and it rang back, and that nigga walked. The way Walt jumped at that motherfucker, bro. Like a lot of his expression acting is just a goofy. Like Walt, we know it. It's one of those things where, as the audiences, we know the bullshit he's on. It makes it that much more laughable when he really tries to play it off. Like, you so full of shit. It's so obvious. Man, and I wonder if it's so obvious because we know. Either way, he's not as smart as he thinks he is. But he jumped at it. I beat you.
Ha!
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Oh, shit. It was good. It was good. And Walt jumps to the phone. Walt pretends it's Carmen, but it's really Jesse. And Jesse's telling him he's been robbed. And Walt, in real time, is really thinking like, damn, you got robbed? And he started, oh, this motherfucker, he think what I took was a robbery. He's out of it. Because remember, we just had the conversation where Gus told him, man, you can't trust a junkie. And he's seeing it. It's almost like when you buy a car, when you buy the same color and make of a car, once you leave that lot, you start seeing that car everywhere. So now that that's been brought to his attention, even though Walt knew, he's seeing all the signs that, you know what? I just made a big boy play for 1.2 million. 1.2 million. And this motherfucker thinks that he got robbed with the same money I just got that, same drugs I got that money with. Like, this can be a problem. I think that's what Walt's got going on in his head. So once he realized he was oblivious, Walt just hung up on that nigga. But Jesse sees that he has 4 voice messages. We don't see him check it, but obviously he hears some messages that Walt was leaving that we saw last episode. What were your reactions on this scene, and particularly when Jesse calls, telling Walt like, "Hey, I got robbed," and this Walt's expression like, "What?"
I genuinely laughed.
Yeah,
like I like before he's like, you what do you say, degenerate junkie? Like Walt just been, hey, this man been talking crazy too. He talked crazy to him in the classroom. Like Walt just uses Jesse as his punching bag. He's just talking crazy to him the entire time. And so when Walt just hung up, like this is so stupid that I'm hanging up. I laughed out loud for real. I was like, yo, Walt is wild, and that was So good, you know. So
I feel him.
and then it's like maybe he's looking at it like, bro, I know you get high, you know what I'm saying? I know I didn't know you like to get wet though. You know what I'm saying? Like this is one of those moments. It's like, bro, you're a little further out of it than you normally are.
Yeah, and that's. I'm glad you said that, Mo, because that's really, bro. Was that heroin? Like, nigga, I thought you was doing a little. Even meth is bad, but nigga, I didn't know you really in it. Like, this shit crazy. I ain't never seen you laid out like that.
Yeah.
Like you were so high that you didn't know. And he's probably thinking to himself, like, bro, I broke your fucking door. You don't remember that? Imagine that. Imagine that. Tell your man, you don't remember me breaking this door down. You don't remember me coming in and getting this meth. Like, all right.
But see, y'all ain't wrong. But this all the more reason for me to go ahead and tell him and like bring you your money ASAP. It's like the
Mm.
Bronx Tale thing. Like, did you really fuck with him or not?
Oh,
Okay,
you
then
ain't never gonna see
$20
me
got him.
again.
$20 got him out of your life for the rest of your like. You all everything that y'all said is right in the sense of I would have been more than happy to bring his $680,000 over there and say, hey, look, forget my number, bro. Forget you knew me. Like we ain't never got to talk. There's no reason for me and you to ever talk again. I don't give a fuck if you get better. I don't care about you and your junkie girlfriend. I don't care about none of that. I made this little money with you. It's over with. Adios. So this is why I think Walt even more of a piece of shit. Like you just want something to have over this nigga. You don't even like dude for real. You just want to
Yeah.
have something over him.
I
Like
don't
get
know. I
this
think
man
I
his
think
money.
I think he showed that he does have a place for him. I do. I as much
But
I'm
I
not
don't think it's
calling.
a genuine place of like love though. It's just me because I think I'm better than you, and I want to be around to tell you that I'm better than you.
It's
There's
like it's like being on the same. It's like being on the same football team. You know what I mean? Like you might not be friends, but we played on the same team together, man. We was in the trenches together. Like I'm gonna fuck with you. I might never speak to you, but when we see each other, somebody fuck with you, I got your back. I think he got that kind of love for him. Not a genuine. I'm concerned for your well being, but we'll talk about it when we talk about the whole money situation. One might argue that's Walt really showing concern. Like, bro, if I give you this, I know what's up. I'm not about to. But I
that's
think, but I think that came from Walt not wanting that blood on his hands versus caring whether or not Jesse survived. There's a difference between that. And we see Walt's
Facts.
ego come to the forefront this entire episode.
But see, I
So
think Walter's okay with blood on his hands.
Not Jesse's.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I'm
then
about
he
to say I don't
cares.
think
So
that's
then he
He made
cares.
that clear throughout.
See, so then he
He
cares.
can't. But that's the thing, though. He really don't care about his well-being. He more so cares that it's not my fault that something happened to him. Because
It wouldn't
it'll
be
get
his
into
fault if he
spoiler.
gave him it, but if he gave him the money, it wouldn't be his fault.
It would because he convinced him to cook meth and make his money and found this plug and just gave him $600,000. Then he looking at it like I understand your pushback on it, but he looking at it like I provided this path for him. Now he's gonna take this money and just kill himself on an overdose. So he don't want him to do that because he would feel responsible when blood is on his hands. But it don't make it
yeah.
no
'Cause
better.
at the end of the episode, he has a similar emotion. Like he had blood on his hand, but you could tell it took a toll on him.
Yeah.
If that was Jesse in that role, obviously we'll get there. But if that was Jesse, he wouldn't have let that go down.
Well, that's why I keep saying these
Well,
Yeah,
duality moments of
yeah.
Walter's conscious coming through, and then there's the Heisenberg conscious coming through in certain moments. So that's why I do think that he cares because he, you know, and again, I think they was inspired by Tony and Christopher Moltisanti, you know, and you know, we see where the demise of things go in their relationship. But I wouldn't just because it went there, don't make me ever think that Tony didn't care or Tony just benefited off of Chris because Chris messed up more than he got it right, but Tony still cares. So I think this being like kind of a mirror in a different world and time with them two, I think he cares, you know, and I think even when we get to the last season, it indicates that he is an egotistical maniac, but it's something there. Like it's something there.
That's fair. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Do we have anything else with this scene of them on the phone once Walt realizes he doesn't know? Okay. Now, 6 degrees of separation. Hank brings home some Los Pollos Hermanos chicken for dinner. You know, baby's home, family's home. Nobody feels like cooking. Walt pulls Hank to the side, asks about childproofing the pool, and wants an alarm system. I read this shit where something falls in, the alarm system goes off. Hank realizes this is a lot of money, or Skylar says, and Hank even offers it. How about we cover that for you? Walt, once again, common theme of this episode. Nah, I'm good. We'll take care of it. Money won't be an issue. Don't you worry. And Skylar mentions Yeah, it won't be an issue because I'm going to work soon, which is to Walt's surprise. And Walt says, I think it's going to be good for the baby if you home for the first few years. And Walt is disgusted. And Flynn even says, Mom talking about me getting a job. Walt is disgusted that he can't be real about the situation, which he could. I want to be
Yeah.
emphasize this. He can be honest about it, but he chooses not to. But it's starting to eat him alive that he has to see his wife go back to work for a motherfucker who was in the fucking hospital room when I expected you to be home for 2 or 3 years, and I have no way of telling you I got this covered. I literally got $1.2 million in the garage, in the washing room, and you have no idea about it. It's insane to me. What do we think about this family scene? Obviously, it's a setup for, like I said, the theme that's going on with Walt. But any special thoughts about it?
I like the build up. I like this build up of Walt's ego kicking in. And he really could have told her, like, live with it or don't. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess you run the risk of her getting him locked up, but do you really want to lock the father of your children up? You know what I mean? Or maybe you do, you on Teddy now. So I don't know, but I did like this, like feeling in. I'll be honest, I feel Walt to some degree. He can't really be that upset, but I do feel where you're coming from at least. So it's just like, bruh, like Andre 3000, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we got a demo out. Nobody want to hear what we're saying, like I feel where you're coming from. So I like the build up of his ego, the Heisenberg, ego. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works for the show. I don't like it though. I don't like it. It takes again beating the dead horse. Like just I think less and less of Walt character. Just as the more that I watch these shows, in the sense, if you feel like that, then figure it the fuck out. Like quit sitting around. Like start some random ass business and learn how to learn. Like I'm saying it like it's easy, but there's still things that he could do versus just mope around or act like it's so belittling of him that he can't tell people that he got this money. Figure out what they got. Act like you hit the lotto, something like anything random. And I know Saul is giving him ideas, and we talk about it later. But I just don't like how this bothers him because you had to have thought about that. How are you so smart and you've thought about everything else, but you ain't thought about this shit? Like, what happens if it works? And it worked, and now you got $1.2 million, and I'm supposed to feel sorry for you because you can't tell your family about it? Fuck out
Do
of
you
here.
does it the laundering part of it, the fact that I thought the same thing you did as far as, man, he's too smart not to know what to do with his money. However, I can give the show some credit for continuously reminding us that Walt knows nothing about the street life and
True.
how things work there. You know what I mean? So even though I don't give him a pass for not thinking of going to Saul about this, like Saul is the perfect person to have in your corner for this. Like Jesse even told you as much. But I guess I can give him a pass on not really knowing where to start with what to do with that bread. I
But
don't know. It's just
my,
very
my thing
interesting to me.
is, you're right, but that should have been one of the things that you're thinking about the first time that you went to go sit down at the chicken spot and you was waiting on him to come meet you. You knew you had 38 pounds of meth then. You knew if he said yes, then that was going
Fair.
to equate to $1.2 million. You never thought okay about it, like, okay, what I'm gonna do with the money if I get it. Like you
That's a
just
fair
now
point.
thinking about that. So
You think, yeah, how tactical is Walt
I mean, maybe he could have got
at this point of
Saul.
the series?
Maybe he could have got
Saul
Saul.
should have been working on this.
Well, no, what I'm saying, but he should have got Saul to like drum up some kind of lawsuit that, you know,
He could have, but he
well,
said,
Walt,
well,
well,
we'll talk
Walt
about it when
wins,
we get there. Walt didn't want to do that.
I know, but I mean, well, yeah, but this one could have been something legitimate. Like maybe he could have, because I mean, Saul, we know he could
Yeah, you're
scheme. He
right.
could have did something with the medication, like y'all misdiagnosed or misprescribed. That's why I lost my memory. And like now they settle outside of court, and this is the check.
Yeah,
Wow.
anything.
That is a great point. Saul should have been. If you knew, only way it doesn't work is if Saul didn't know you made the connection, Saul. So you know this is a heavy hitter.
He should have
You
asked him, well,
know
like, what you
he
gonna do with the
told,
money when y'all get it?
yeah, you know he has 38 pounds. Yeah, I know we had that scene this episode, so we'll get to it soon. But I don't know, it is a little bit crazy. Just to tie it in real quick, there is a moment when they're at the house. Holly's crying. Walt decides to get up and get her, and once again talk about his ego. He says, "You want to show you? Let me show you something. You want to see something?" Shows her the money in the wall, and he says, "Daddy did that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure." Just screaming, "I did that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one. I'm the eldest boy." Shout out to Kendall Roy. You know what I mean? On some of that type shit.
Mhm.
This is a big scene, y'all. Jesse pulls up to the school in Walt's classroom. Jesse has figured out that Walt is the one that took the stash and upset that Walt left him freaking out about it. You could have told me on the phone that it was you, but you wanted me to panic. You wanted me to worry. You wanted me to think that I fucked up. Walt tells him, when have you ever not dropped the ball? And what was that, heroin? Hey, that nigga Jesse said, he said that I was on my day off. So if I do heroin on my day off, that ain't your concern,
That's
man.
on me.
Well, Walt told him, though, but Walt told him, man, we was on call, you junkie. Hey, Walt,
That's what I'm
hey, he
saying.
should have slapped
Talking
up.
crazy to him, bro.
Yeah, we were on call, you junkie, but I got the deal done, and you made me miss the birth of my daughter. Which we know that that's a choice that Walt made. Like, if you wanted to see your daughter be born, you could. I get what he's saying, but you just want to, I forget, I don't know if it was Lou that said it, you just want to have something over Jesse and shit on him. Like, I want to make you feel even worse than what you do. I miss my birth of my daughter. But it's funny because Jesse ain't give a fuck about none of that. Jesse asked how much did you make? Let me stop real quick. Were either one of y'all surprised that Walt told him the truth?
About what?
The amount
How
of
much
money?
money he
Yeah, he
actually made
got
from
it.
the deal? Yeah.
Oh no, I mean
Yeah.
Jesse would have knew how to do the math. He knew what they were probably selling them for, because it may have probably been a little bit less than Jesse thought of, because it was wholesale prices versus them just moving it ounce for ounce like they were doing. But yeah, he probably would have knew general range.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I mean, like we almost died out in the desert together. Like I'm not gonna cheat you on what you like. I do think Walt has respect for the work that was put in. You know what I mean? He don't respect you as a person. He don't respect that you're a junkie and you do heroin on your day off. But I respect we was out in the desert together and we had to figure out how to get out of this, and we cooked all that meth. So you are owed this. Yeah, now he
Yeah.
could have not gave it to him, or he even later in this episode he could have took the bag back. But you know what I mean? Like I thought that was reasonable. And I mean we're still early Walter Heisenberg. So yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Going back to the actual scene, Walt lets him know it's $480,000 after Saul's cut. He gets 20%. Jesse asks for his bread, rightfully so. Where my money at, bro? Like, fuck all that missing your daughter's birth. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Where is my bread? You owe me damn near $500,000. And Walt turns around and tells him pretty much, if I give you that bread, shout out to Joe Clark and lean on me. If I can, you'll be dead in a week, son. You'll be
You
dead in a
smoke crack,
week.
don't you?
Yeah, if I give you that bread, you're gonna be dead. And once again, I'm not gonna have you overdose on my watch. Like, not because of me. I'm cool. I'll hold the money and I'll give it back when you're ready. Jesse said he's clean. This whole scene this moment kind of confused me because Walt, 16 hours ago, you saw this motherfucker was high as shit. You saw the needles. Why you asking him to pee in a cup? You know he's lying. You know he's not clean. He was just high. So I didn't understand that part. But Walt called Jane a junkie. You your junkie girlfriend. And we saw Jesse buck up. He threw that glass at him. Jesse won't defend himself, but he will defend Jane.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all take from that? What do you think about that I'm calling you a junkie, I'm doing this, that, and the third. But as soon as you cross over to my girl, this is the second time, because remember he did it in the RV.
Mm-hmm.
Second time Walt said something like derogatory about Jane, and Jesse was like, nah, nigga, like, stop playing.
Now I mean, we got to remember the overarching thing. In the words of Martin Lawrence, they called me. Walter, you came to me. I was chilling, selling my little nickels and dimes. We got to keep that in context. If I'm a junkie, if I'm a loser, if I'm a deadbeat, a lowdown, whatever, you came to me. And we were talking about him holding the money from him. I think it goes back to the statement he made to Gus, where he told him like because he does what I say. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like more of like he's already in this and I trust him. That's why I say I trust him and he does what I say. Like Walt is not looking as junk as much as of a failure as Jesse is in moment to moment. They've been through the trenches together. They got rid of dead bodies. They almost died in the desert. They cooked pounds of meth. They did an elaborate scheme to keep Jesse out of the jail, keep Walt out of jail and getting caught. Like they've been through the trenches already. So as crazy as the tumultuous as this relationship is, it's like I trust him. So I don't want him to down my watch, but as crazy as it sounds, I still need him because he's the only person I really trust. I could bring anybody else in. I don't have any rapport and history with him. So,
Yeah, y'all aren't wrong, but for me, if I'm Jesse and this is Walt, this like a whole lot of words for a conversation that don't need that many. You got my money. I want my money. And if you think you're gonna keep my money, watch how ugly it get for you out here. And I ain't even talking about like imposing no type of harm. If I'm Jesse, I can just make shit real inconvenient for you. From like, I just start popping up at your crib. Like, how you gonna explain it to your wife? I just start popping up to the school. Like it's like I just started doing dumb shit. Like I'm calling, leaving messages on the phone. Yeah, just checking on that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like just I'm
just
popping
checking
up
on
at
that,
2 o'clock on Wednesday. Like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, yeah, I mean, we good. You still got that for me? Like, it ain't like he ain't gotta have this much back and forth with Walt about it. And to the point that you brothers were making, Walt's acting like he cares, but he only cares because he can have Jesse up under his thumb. If I'm Jesse, my legitimate response to this is, bro, like I'm a grown ass man. Like Mo was saying, you came to me. How I choose to get down, how I choose to party, that's how I choose to get down. Like you ain't got shit, you ain't finna ask me to piss in no cup. You ain't finna keep half of my bread. You ain't finna do none of that. Like what you finna do is go leave here, grab my half, and then we'll figure it out from there. If I want to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So like, nah, like Walt got this fantasy in his head, and Jesse letting him get it off.
Nah, that's a
and
great point.
stop talking about my girl, bro.
Yeah, and on top of all
Yeah,
that part.
yeah. Stop talking about my girl, bro. Like I ain't talking about your son. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about your
Yeah,
wife.
nigga, your crazy ass wife came over to my crib
Yeah,
because
bro.
she thought you smoked weed, nigga. Like you know what? You
Straight
know
up.
I'm finna turn it up over your crib if you keep this up.
Yeah, bro.
That
Stop.
reminds me. I
I
say
may
this all
pop
the
up to
time.
I may pop up to his crib like I'd be a menace if I'm popping up over their house with the
Listen,
bong. Like,
what's
hey, bro, hey, Walt, bro, you trying to get down, bro? Like, I'm.
listen?
It's gonna be a living hell for him.
What Lou is describing reminds me of a tax stone, the crash out. But I remember Tax telling a story about him having a beef with somebody, and he said, "Man, once it got to that level, I just started fucking with your family. Like I'm seeing your girl, like I'm giving her a little slap on the butt at the bus stop. I'm seeing y'all kiss. I'm squeezing both, like because the reason he said it was he was like because." If I bring it to your house, now you got a problem at home. You ain't just got a problem
Yeah,
with me no more. Now you got a problem at home.
you gotta explain shit to people now. This ain't a me
Yeah,
and you
like
conversation now.
Like
Yeah.
I'm really making you uncomfortable to the point where you're gonna give me what I need, and that's a brilliant point. If Jesse was built like that, he really could have been on that, and that would have actually
Mhm.
been a lot more entertaining to watch.
That would have been funny.
That
Like
would have
that
been
would have
funny as
been
fuck,
some
bro.
great TV.
Bro, he could
Yeah,
have been
that would
like
have been the equivalent of Tony playing the music
On the
on the
boat.
bar.
there you go. There you go.
You know what I'm
Perfect.
saying?
Perfect.
Like, bro, I'm going to do everything possible to legally piss you off to the point where you
Yeah.
can't take it. I'm gonna drive you crazy.
What a great episode of Sopranos. Like, just pay him the money. Like,
Nah, for real, man. Like I said, you got a problem now. Your wife is yelling at you, bro. If I got a problem at home, I got to
Shit, your
squat. I got to end
friends
this
don't want,
immediately.
yeah, your
I got to
friends
end
ain't
this
fucking with you
immediately.
no more. Yeah.
Absolutely, hundred
And don't let
percent.
me pop up with Hank around. Like, how you gonna explain this to him? Like, come on, bro. Like, give me my man, run me my shit, nigga.
Like that. I forget who was the junkie that was beating up Bubbles and the wire
Oh
nigga. Like
man.
he told him. This is how it's gonna be every time we meet.
Every
If
time we
I'm
see
Jesse, I'm
each
telling you
other.
what. Every time we meet, nigga, I promise you, I'm making your life hell. Don't let me catch you with your family, bruh.
Oh
I'm pulling up
shit.
to the crib, all of that. So, yeah, shout out to that scene, man. That was one of my favorites of the episode. But we are back at the White House. Walt and Marie are with Holly, and Marie, of course, has an opinion about what Walt's doing, and they can buy this and that. Skylar comes in, and she's overwhelmed, oddly overwhelmed, with something that Flynn did. He created a website, SaveWalterWhite.com, which I don't know if y'all know out there. That is still an active website. You can type in SaveWalterWhite.com, and it looks exactly like it does on the TV show. When you hit the donate button, it takes you to AMC.com. So if you ever want to just look at it, you can actually read everything that Flynn said about his dad and see all the photos and all that. Literally, it looks exactly like it. Everyone to me, I don't know about y'all, to me, they getting a little bit overly emotional. Like, all right, it's cool, but damn, y'all niggas crying and shit. Like, relax. I get the sentimental value of it, but calm down. Walt realizes, he does the same, does a little, oh, son, this is amazing. but then realizes, hold on, they'll be asking for money. Like Walt ain't going, bro. Walt ain't going to the point where Skylar got to pull him to the side and says, we can't ask him to take it down. Walt said it's charity, and Skylar calls him out for the negative connotation. What jumps out to y'all about this scene when it goes from "oh, that's great, Flynn" to "hold on, you asking for bread? You want these niggas to pay us?"
Are they this moved by this, or is it because it's Walt Jr.? Like, is it like a
That's
Special
bruh.
Olympics trophy, or
I'm
is it
sitting here
like
like,
just
well,
they?
why is this? Y'all niggas crying like over this? I don't know. Maybe I'm just cold hearted. I
I
just
mean,
thought that I
he
was
set
like,
up a
y'all
web.
doing a little too much.
He set up a. I mean, to get emotional is different, but I think they could be impressed. Like he
Yeah,
did.
impressed is one thing, but y'all
Yeah,
niggas was putting the sauce on it. Oh my goodness, Walt Jr. Can't believe it.
yeah,
Like,
they got low. They got low expectations for Walt Jr.
Obviously.
that's fucked
This
up.
see again. This is Walt just being like Walt just in his own way so much all of the time. Like this is a like when he took it to Saul, I was thinking that before they even said it in the episode. Like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna create 50 usernames, and I got some stuff to do for the next couple of days. So he always just think about the negative. Well, not think about the negative, but he always got to be fucking Superman. Like he got to be the one that saves the day.
Well, you know what it
That's his
is.
biggest flaw as a main character, as
Mm-hmm.
someone that's like he. I think Melfi asked Tony this, but I looked at Tony different when he was doing it. It was more manly. It was less snakely. It was more. I just feel like gangster. Walt just does it in a this like a Karen type of way.
Yeah,
Like he does it so Karen-y that you can't like it. And I can't admit that
Karen,
Tony
I
does the
like it.
same thing, but he just does it in a gangster way. Like he just Karen-y with it.
Very Karen, very mayonnaise. Uh,
Yeah.
you know it's you got to remember like Walt has been overlooked and allowed so much to slide. Other people getting credit for gray matter, getting credit, getting pushed over him all these years. So he's low key. It's like you. Here's what happens when you get into something and you think you're doing it for one reason, but you realize you want more than the reason you set out to get it. He was getting it's like, oh, I got cancer. I'm trying to provide for my family. I'm trying to do this, but really, he's looking. He wants to be credited. He wants to be acknowledged because he's
I
been.
need acknowledgement.
Come on, you know. So he'd been overlooked this whole time. So that's why again I say that looming line. I was good
Nigga
at
said,
it.
"Come on."
Oh,
Nigga said,
yeah.
"Come on." Quote Drake on here. Mo perk up. What? Yeah, spit that shit.
Yeah, man, you got it. But no, but that over looming line of because I was good at it. That matters. That's a thing. So I think if we're looking at Walt's character through all these seasons, that's what it is. It's like I set out to make money and do this, but now it's like, bro, I want to be credited for this. I don't because he wants some respect. I look at the scene from Roscoe Jenkins, that movie Martin.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, give me some damn credit, Dad. Like I look at Walt wanting that so bad, but now the thing he want credit for could get him locked up.
Hey, it's funny you mentioned that. I saw a tweet the other day that said niggas was really mad at Roscoe because he didn't want to share his daddy with a hater. I got weak at that
Right.
shit. Cuz was hating, man. Said it was hating like a motherfucker. But anyway,
Did a great job.
you make a great point. You make a great point, Mo. When you talk about that, Spike Lou, did you have anything to add to it?
Um no, not other than what I've already stated in the sense of like it's just hard to buy into him as an anti-hero when we looking at him act a fool over just this dumb shit. Like, and I know other anti-heroes do it, but his method of it, Walter White's method of it is just like, ugh,
Yeah, poo putt.
he is a poop putt.
He's really, and sorry to any of our listeners that happen to be white men, but he's just a white guy. Like he's just a white guy. Like throwing a throwing a fit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly.
That's what
He's like the dude in the office who always yeah, this was my part of the project, and I did this, and blah blah.
I
Like,
don't
man,
know.
shut up, bro. I don't give a fuck what you did, nigga.
I don't know if y'all remember like a decade ago or so, maybe 8 to 10 years ago, there was a T-shirt that maybe it was around longer before that, but there was a T-shirt around that said, "I want to have the confidence of an average white man." That's what I think of when I think of Walt.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think of Walt. Like straight up.
Yeah.
This girl wore that shit to work, man. That shit was an interesting day. But either way, that shit was an interesting day at the office. I'll say it like that.
Hey, call me.
Pre-COVID times,
Call
man.
me.
Yeah.
Call
Hey,
me.
man.
I gotta know about that.
We go to Saul's office. We touched on this earlier. This is a conversation that should have been had last episode, or maybe even the first time they met. As soon as Saul found out they had 38 pounds, it should have been discussed. But Walt is frustrated because he has enough cash that he got to use the scales that they weigh the whales with. Shout out to Kiss, man. Got so much money, I got to weigh this shit. But I'm upset that I'm not getting the credit for the plays I've been running. That's what it comes down to. I've been putting up these major plays and don't nobody know. It's the same thing psychologically when they talk about serial killers, like eventually like confessing or leaving clues when they say it looks like they wanted to get caught. Because they doing all this shit. It's like, damn, what's the point if nobody knows I'm the one doing it? You know what I mean? It's kind of a sick, twisted mindset when you have it. People think I'm bankrupt, but I got 1.2 in my fucking wall right now. You get what I'm saying? Walt's probably he's thinking that at the time. Saul, great luring at this moment. Great luring. Urges him, bro. Have you considered telling your wife? Like, let's just start there, bro. I want to ask both of y'all this question before we move on with the scene. How does Skylar handle this if Walt just goes ahead and tell her? Maybe it's a conversation we should have when next episode. I mean, it's not a real spoiler, but next episode, Skylar she confronts Walt about what the fuck is going on.
Okay.
We can have that conversation then, or we can have it now. But I'm curious to know what y'all think would have happened if he just was honest about it.
Now,
His story makes sense. Like I can see the desperation if I'm Skylar.
I'm speaking out of turn here because I ain't married, but what I imagine is why I'm going first. I'll let you close it with your being married self, Mo. Me as a not married man, what I imagine marriage is telling her the truth. And we deal with the repercussions from that because we deal with the repercussions from that as if we love each other like we do because we're married. You can be mad, you can be pissed off or whatever it may be, but the fact of the matter is I got 1.2, I got 680 or 480,000 right here. Somebody came to me with a proposition I couldn't turn down. It's over with now. We did it. I got the money. Here, like, what you trying to do moving forward? Like, I feel like that's the most reasonable way to figure this out. But this is a TV show. They're gonna do TV stuff, so that's not going to happen. But I do think it was good advice. However, I'm not a married man.
I think you hit it on the nose. I think you're a very observational person, so I think you hit it on the nose. How I think would have played out is he probably could have convinced her not to go to the feds, but they would have divorced. Just because, he don't have that kind of moxie. He can't sell it like that. Like he can sell it enough to get her not to put him in jail or prison, but he couldn't sell it enough for her to stay with him. Like coming outright saying it. I don't believe. We get a preview of that with Ted, which when she finds out like he's breaking the law, and she ends up still staying there and going back to work. So they give us the breadcrumb of if you just come out right and say it after she knows, then you can go from there. But obviously Walt thinks he's the smartest in the room all the time, and we see how that plays later. So I think that he could have talked her out of getting him put in prison, but she would have divorced him.
Got you. Well, since Walt is so against telling Skylar, Saul comes up with the idea, hey, Uncle Murray, Walt said it can't be blind luck. It can't be a relative. He emphasized, I earned that money, is what Walt's saying. Emphasizing that to Saul, I earned it. Similar to what he told Holly. Like, Daddy did that. He mentions the website, and Saul looks it up. Walt has maybe the funniest line so far of the entire series for me. Walt, because he was dead ass serious. Nigga said,
I tell you, Walt was fooling this episode, bro.
What did he say?
And Saul's like, I get a fuzzy and warm feeling.
Walt said, hey, hold on, man. He was dead ass serious. That's what makes this line funny, because Walt really meant this shit. He said, cyber that's all that is. Just rattling a little
have a 10 cup.
10 cup to the entire world.
The rich.
Nah, Like the idea of asking somebody for money, bruh, somebody donating, bruh, eats him alive.
Hey, listen, he just said to Skylar, she was like, it's like, that's charity. She said, you say it like
Yeah, like
it's
it's
the
such a
worst thing.
bad thing.
Which is a
It
bad thing.
is to
Yeah.
him. That's a
Like you
cardinal
above
sin. Like,
charity.
Yeah.
yeah, bro, I'm not taking your fucking money,
Who
bro.
are
I said,
you?
just
Who the
rattling a
fuck?
little, just
Right.
rattling a little 10 cup to the entire world. And I love Saul's response. He's like, yeah, there's no deep seated issues there. Like, nigga, you fucked up, bro. But Saul's telling pretty much, man, stop playing, bro. Like, stop playing to use his website. This is right. It's right here for you. Your son just did you a solid, whether you know it or not. And it doesn't have to be some big benefit. Like he says it. Remember, so, Walt says, I'm not going to have my family think some mystery benefactor saved us. Once again, that ego. And Walt says, man, listen, I know somebody that can be on some office space type shit, little deposits here and there. Nobody would know it's from one person. It just builds up over time. It can funnel your money cleanly, and you good to go. Any takeaways from this? As Saul is pretty much giving him the play, even though Walt is defiant of the easiest play probably of all time.
Again, this is the beauty is that I love that we're going to get a lot of moments where there are people smarter than Walt in some scenarios. And I like that we get that because it kind of roots his character a little bit more. You know, it makes him more realistic where it's like Saul being who he is like, and Saul's not the smartest guy we've seen in the series.
Don't do Saul any kind of way.
But he wasn't, I mean, I'm not saying he's dumb. I'm saying he just wasn't the smartest guy in all.
I think he's smarter than Walt.
Maybe,
not from a book sense.
Maybe street smart.
I put Walt near the bottom of like just common sense people that you like, not even street smart, just like common sense. Like we'll talk about it as we go through this, but like most people figured him out. Like he wasn't like clever.
Figured him out.
yeah, I'm saying he wasn't clever in a sense of like most people once they paid attention, they're like, I get this.
Nah, Hank is at the bottom.
I'll even dispute that once we get to a key moment here. And that's what kind of fuels my argument. Like Walt thinks he's so smart, but then at the end of the day, like, yeah, he think he's smarter than he is. And I don't think he's as clever as he outside of the chemistry.
Yeah, he's smart. He think it transfers in all
areas to the real world.
Yeah. This man tried to have sex with his wife with the avocado on the face, bro.
Nah. Yeah. You acknowledge man. That shit crazy. Hey, that nigga Walt was really upset about that charity shit, man. So I ain't going. I'm not going. One day I gotta tell it. Well, I ain't gonna tell the story because I ain't gonna put my man's out there like that. But one day y'all gotta ask Chaz what he feels about alimony. Get Chaz's thoughts.
Yeah. No, I heard it.
Get Chaz's thoughts on alimony.
I could only imagine.
Yeah, man. Ask Chaz what he would tell the judge if they ordered him to pay his ex-wife some shit. I can't even say it on air. I
couldn't even imagine him saying it if she got married again.
Hey man,
the alimony.
Hey man, listen. Chaz one of the funniest people ever. That's all I gotta say.
Could you imagine paying alimony to a chick with a husband?
No, because this all started. This was years ago when we had this conversation. It all started because Hulk Hogan's ex-wife bought a boat with his money and named it alimony while she was fucking one of her son's friends.
Yep.
And that nigga Chaz looked at that story and the shit he said to me. I can't even repeat it. I can't even repeat it. We get to Jane and Jesse. Jesse is doing what a lot of men do. Shout out to Kendrick, man. Niggas gossip with they chick like they young thug too, man. Jesse over here venting to his girl about Walt, saying what y'all said earlier, man. He came to me. He called me. I was chilling. You know what I'm saying? I was putting my little chili batch in here, chili powder. We was all good. He treat me like that. He holding my money. And Jane doing the typical, get him. You know, he can't see you. She's coaching him on heroin while he's venting. And she tells him, you don't need Walt. Like, you really don't need him. I don't know why you've been going to him. As Jesse's fading out, she asked, how much does he owe you? And Jesse said $480. She said, I'd be mad about $500 too. He said, nah, $480,000. To which she's like, what? He's nodding off, and she gives a subtle little reminder of, hey, not on your back, on your side, just in case you throw up.
Brilliant.
You know what I'm saying? Just something a little throwaway. You just think it's brilliant to your point, Mo. Especially when you consider this entire scene, she's coaching him on how to do it. So it doesn't look like it's it doesn't look like it's like intentional, The whole scene she's trying to give you. This is what you do when you're on heroin. This is what the drug is. This is how you need to respond to it. Don't put yourself in this situation. So that line, which seems like a throwaway, is actually foreshadowing. Um, but yeah, we got this scene of Jesse venting to Jane. What are your thoughts on it, fellas?
Yeah, it tracks. Yeah, it tracks. I like that it was a good setup because you know, like Jane is gonna do like most strong women would in your life and encourage you to like, look, go get that shit that nigga owe you. Like, let's figure it out and figure out how to get it. So I liked it. I liked it. It felt like somebody for the first time in this series was actually there for Jesse. We've never seen that anywhere else, like with his parents,
Yep.
anybody. Like we've never seen someone be there genuinely for Jesse.
And to know who he is.
Hmm.
Like she knows he's a drug dealer. She knows that he does drugs. You know, to know who he is and still, yeah, that's why he threw the beaker at Walt.
Hmm.
I was just more so, I just them, you know, heating up the spoon and like, it's like, bruh, this don't, y'all can't make this look sexy. And I know
There's
it's not
nothing
meant
sex.
to.
Ain't nothing
There's nothing
sexy
about
No,
about
no,
heroin,
no.
but
That's the point. That's the point I'm making. Like you see some coke, you see this white powder, and again, I don't indulge in none of these things. But you see this is like, okay, I can kind of see this like nice fluffy, you know, make it look cool. All right, but you got this black shit on a spoon, and it's like you about to put this needle in. Like that's what blows my mind. Like as a
I live
person
a
that
different
doesn't,
life.
you
That's
live
a
a different life. You
yeah,
live a
that's
different
like
life.
yeah, that's different. You
That's why I'm looking
entered
at it
another
like, dang, bro,
portal.
this don't even look like
Yeah, you entered another portal once you hit you on the spoon and shit.
the spoon and
Y'all,
needles.
y'all ever seen them videos online of like people on the like couples on the street getting interviewed? Somebody might randomly ask like, "How much money in your savings account?" And some dudes is like, you know, I got about $700, and the women be like, "Oh, I got 25,000," and they be like, "Huh?" And they
Yeah, I
like
seen
paying for all the dates. That's kind of the same thing I feel like Jane did. Like she thought $500. If you find out your
that.
partner's owed 500,000, we saw the wheel spinning right here. Jane about to make some plays. And we'll talk more about it as we get there. But any other thoughts on this scene before we go to the recovery meeting? All right. There's a recovery meeting with Jane's dad, but Jane is not there. Her dad calls, and it's a repeat of earlier. She's laid in the bed with Jesse, overslept. She rushes out, puts her jeans on, and as she's running outside, she looks up. Dad is outside, and he saw her come out of Jesse's apartment. So, of course, he rushes in that apartment, which, once again, gotta keep that thing with you, Jesse. Dad or not, bro. Don't be running in my shit. I pay rent, bitch. Um, Hell of a way to wake up. Starts dog walking Jesse in his spot.
Again, Jesse getting woke up out of his house. He ain't got water dumped on him, slapped the hell out of him by
At the
Walt.
very least, if you getting a gym membership after this.
Yeah, you got
At the
to.
very least, you got to get a gym membership.
Yeah, because this nigga was
Some
dog.
free weights or something.
He saw resistance band, something. Nigga, that dad saw them drugs. Nigga started dog walking Jesse in his own apartment, bro. Come on.
Hey, I own this building, though. If I'm dead, I own this, bro.
Nah, straight up, man. Dad told
Just
Jane, man, you going back to rehab right now. Go ahead. What you about to say?
and just out of general practice, shouldn't Jane practice going like when this happens? She should go out of the back door to her apartment and through the front door that one, like we seen her do the other time. Like that
Do you
should
think
be
that's
just standard practice. But it's because they getting high. It's because they so like they in it now. Like that she might have done
oh
that the first couple times just smoking weed, but yeah, there's just remnants of her being high.
yeah, I think that's the duality of it. That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's a great point. Dad says pretty much you going back to rehab right now, man. You was 18 months clean, you just kind of blew it. And if you've ever seen anyone that you love or care about with addiction up front, even not to this degree, but you know what it's like when um, the guilt of it, right? There is something where you want them to get better so bad, but one of the biggest things is realizing that they have to do it themselves. They have to want to be ready to do that.
Boy, if that ain't true.
And I'm sure it hurts him being her father, but he has to recognize that like you can't force someone to go to rehab. It's just gonna be wasted time and money. They're gonna come out and the first thing they're gonna be looking is to get high. That's gotta be something they reach. And unfortunately, not a lot of people reach that point where they want to get clean. They have to hit rock bottom. That's why that term is there for a reason. But it was just a fascinating scene if you ever seen that because you saw Jane getting defensive and Jane saying, you know, I backslid. Like, please don't. I don't want to do this. I didn't plan on it because it is true, but it's also something that she's using to her advantage. And Dad said, "Fuck it, man. I'm about to call the cops, man. I tried 10 years of love and care, love and understanding, and she agreed to go to the rehab in the morning." talks her way into it, and he hangs up the phone. Jesse asks once he leaves, "Did you mean all that?" And she says, "I don't know." She's
She know
setting
how
up
she
her
got.
play.
Yeah, most daughters know how to like get their dads. I'm
Yeah.
sure you can attest to this, Mo. Like, yeah, like it's a thing. Every dad with a girl tells me this. Like, they know how to get you, and it's still prevalent. You can see right here with Jane. Like, she know the spots to hit to make him be able to be like, that's my baby though. I got to give her one more chance. You know what I'm saying? So great job. This is this is a really good scene. Only this made me think of Euphoria scene when Rue was trying to get off drugs and the mama was like going through it with her. I
Mm-hmm.
think that to me that's right there. That's at
Mm-hmm.
the top, but I think this is close to it.
Yeah,
It ain't
that was a hell
as
of a job by
good, but
Zendaya.
oh my God, Zendaya and the mom. The mom
Yeah,
did such
both
a
of them.
great job in that, bro. That's the for me, that's the apex, the top of the mountain, but this is near it. And then of
Yeah.
course Christopher's intervention. I saw you with your
Very.
head in the bathroom in the toilet.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
I said my
I said
part. I
my
said my
piece.
part, Chris Chrissy.
Said my piece, Christopher.
Um, yeah, but that's pretty much it. Setting up her play, like I mentioned, she knows he got that money or has that money coming to him, and she wants to make sure that they use it properly. Use it properly. So we go back to the White House. Peaceful moment in bed. Skylar, Walt, they in bed with the baby. Phone rings, and Skylar answers, and she tells Walt that a former student needs a letter of recommendation. He answers the phone, doesn't recognize the voice, and realizes it's Jane, like Jane and Jesse. Give Jesse his money. Walt asks if she's blackmailing him, and Jane says, "No, it's not blackmail. You just need to do the right thing. Pay what you owe." Walt said he's going to pay Jesse directly, not to her, and it's when he gets clean. He's not going to contribute to his overdose. I mentioned it earlier, but this is the scene where he said it. Jane's changed her tune and said, "You know what? Matter of fact, I am blackmailing you. Ain't you a high school teacher? Ain't you cooking meth? Ain't you got a brother-in-law in the DEA? Ain't you selling this shit freely? Yeah. I think that'll make a good news story nationally. Nigga, you gonna pay this bread or that's gonna be it." Jane is the one that's putting the moves together. I mentioned she's making her play. How did y'all feel about her game plan as far as getting this money for Jesse? And do you think that was her idea, or do you think Jesse's the one that asked, like, "Can't you call Walt?"
It was her idea
100%.
because Jesse he's passive aggressive. You know what I mean? Like he'll show up ready for the smoke with Walt, and then like be in the defense mode. They're like, bro, you on offense. Like it took for Walt to go crazy on him when he pulled the RV up at Walt's house for him to eventually put them hands on him. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
you already in his face. You should have led, but he's a passive aggressive. For her, she took the whole offense route, and yeah, it was definitely her play. Like she heard his complaints, she understood, and she know exactly how to play this. Like she's a finesser too. Like you got to remember, her dad been there for her for 10 years, and she's been clean for 18 months. So she's told a lot of lies. She's done a lot of finessing over the years. She know how to have her way. You know, she obviously worked her way into like running this little property. So yeah, like it was definitely her idea.
That's a
Yeah,
great
definitely
point you
her
mentioned
idea.
too. I was just gonna say, if I'm Jesse, every time I get a chance, bro, I can beat you up. I'm reminding Walt, I can beat you up, bro. High or not. But go ahead, Spike Lou.
That would be the thing that I would lead with. Like, I don't even know
Yeah,
why
like
we got to do all this extra
exactly,
stuff. Like, bro,
bro.
like
Like I'll beat.
I will put,
I'll put
I'll
hands
come
and feet
take
on
the
you,
whole
bro.
1.2. Really, if we gonna be for real, like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do if I come
That's
pull
real
up to the
shit.
crib and be like, hey man, give me that whole 1.2? I don't care if your daughter here, so like your son, what's your son gonna like, bro? Go get that whole 1.2 and run it. Like he could have did that.
You
He
know what?
really
Now
could
that
have
I'm
did
thinking,
that.
no, that's I'm laughing because you're right. Because I'm thinking to myself, as much as Walt talking greasy and looks
He
down
ain't got
on
no
niggas like
legs to stand
Combo,
on.
I was gonna say if I know they left, but if Jesse really pulled up with Stinky Pete and Badger, that trio could take that
Could take it
1.2
from
and
Walt
Walt can't do shit from it.
and walk straight out of Walt House with that
Yeah,
money, and he wouldn't have no repercussions, not one.
that's
So
crazy.
yeah, that's crazy to think about. But yeah, this was totally Jane. She took the lead on this. She sees the value in this opportunity, which I'm not mad at her for. They say behind every great man is a great woman. This is an example of that. Like, Jesse, you did the work already. This nigga tried to get over on you. Let me get him on the phone. This is like the woman was like, what, your food messed up? Let me talk to the waiter. Let me talk to him. Because you ain't finna say nothing. I'm finna tell him, you said no onions. You said no this. You said no that. And the shit still got it on there. Like, nah, we ain't paying for this. And I want another one. So this was the example. It's not like that for Jesse. Again, no. This is the only really example of that Jesse gets in this up until this point in the series. Someone being there for him, standing up for him, like getting what's rightfully his.
And that plays into this next scene. Right after that phone call, we see Jesse and Jane outside. And Jesse asks, like, you really gonna call the cops? And Jane says, man, he's not stupid. He's gonna pay. Just further proof that this is all Jane's idea. She got the whole thing mapped out. Like, I know this nigga well enough, or I really don't, but I know the situation well enough, and I can analyze it that he has no benefit of not paying us. Like, he's not gonna take the risk. Um, what's wrong? You don't want your $500,000? I love that line from Jane. Like, oh, you don't want your 500,000? Like, bruh, stop complaining about how bad life is, nigga. Like, I remember when Ari said some shit to Vince. Oh, you got to check for $1.2 million. Boo hoo. Like, nigga, y'all stop tripping about this shit that I'm putting in play for you. Jesse doesn't like the idea of snitching. We mentioned it earlier, but Jesse does have this weird, like, kinship with Walt where we've done these things together. Yeah, he pissing me off. I really don't fuck with him as a person, but he's my partner. And I love the Jane line right after that. I'm your partner. Like, really, a dominance. It's a silent, quiet dominance. Like, I run this shit, bruh.
That he
I don't know
needs.
if you picking up on it, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
your partner. I'm the one calling the shots, nigga. I'm the captain now. So all of that just kind of supports the previous scene where, yeah, she's the one that's really running this play, and she's going to be in control of this money if and when they get it. Mo, did you have anything to add to that at all?
No, I just thought the jeans was crazy. Like the baggy jeans, half tucked into the boots. I was like, boy, she's going through it right now. Like
Both of their jeans game was nasty right there.
Yeah, but
I don't know what
he
them
always
is Jesse
wore
got
he
on.
always wore the baggy like
But
whatever.
these even more disgusting though. Like, you peeping the bottom where the shoes at? Like, that's nasty work right there. No.
Hey,
Like, bro, what are those sweatpants? Or like, what the fuck is going on with
bro,
those?
these are like drug chic,
Yeah, that's exactly
drug
what it
head
is.
chic.
Drug user chic. Not drug
Yes,
dealer chic, drug
drug
user
user
chic.
chic, bro.
Them some nasty pajamas Jesse got on, bro. And the
Yeah,
shoes too. Look, them like Walmart specials.
yeah, bro. God dang.
That's a disgusting fit.
I'm sorry. That's all I
That
would.
is a disgusting fit right
It
there.
is.
Nasty, man. All this shit nasty. Everything about this. Like I said, that house
Like,
stink.
that fit, like if he came up to you and like asked you something in public, you would like be like, bro, why are you talking to me? Like, what the fuck you got
Not
going
even,
on, bro?
not even getting that. You getting the New York ignored. Nigga, you're not even here right now, bro. Like, there's no reason. Whatever you got to say, bro. It's
And you
not
know where
supposed
the
to fall in my
bathroom's at?
ears.
Like, he looked like a nigga to be like, you know where the bathroom at, bro? Like, I don't
Read
work
a
here, my
sign,
nigga.
nigga.
Like,
Read a
yeah, I
sign,
don't
my
work
nigga.
here,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I don't even know why you talking to me. You know what all the Snickers on? I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
nigga.
man. Get the fuck out of my face, bro.
I don't know, bro.
Any
What
final
time they
thoughts on
open?
this?
Like, Jesse.
Little
One of them
dumbass
niggas like,
questions.
what time they open, bro? I don't know, bro. Like, why you talking to me?
I don't know, man. That shit's silly because that's all some
Yeah.
real shit.
Yeah.
I can see Jesse coming up to me and I'm just like, bro, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Is this where the Uber picks up at, bro?
He
I don't know, my
he
nigga.
smell funny. He dress funny.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Oh
This shit
shit.
crazy. We got Walt watching Animal Planet. He's listening to Holly on the baby monitor speaker, whatever you want to call it. Skylar asks him to go out for diapers, and he gets Jesse's money because you know what's been on his mind all day. And he takes it over to Jesse. Jane's the one that answers once again, and I love Walt's line. Nice job wearing the pants, because Walt. Shout out to Aaron Paul, man. The way he came to the door, it looked like a kid who knew they parent teacher conference was gonna be bad. Like, I know when my moms get or my pops get home, I know it's over. Belt to ass. Like, I already know what time it is. He looks sad. And Walt asked, "How do I know she'll keep quiet?" And Jesse said, "You'll never hear from either one of us again." Kind of putting the finality in this relationship. And Walt, this might be going to your point, Mo, about that weird relationship. Walt is actually, because if I'm Walt on some real shit, cool, cool. We'll end it here. Blue, you mentioned this earlier about the Bronx Tale comparison. This is what it's gonna take to get you out of my life forever. I'll gladly pay this. We can move on. I got the recipe. I got the Gus Connect now. We can make this shit shake. Um, but Walt says, you making a mistake, and Jane banged that shit on him. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Nigga, bang that shit on his face, and that was pretty much it. Uh, what do you interpret from this scene as we see them? Walt does cave in, like Jane said.
Yeah, he had no. You ain't got
No,
no
no
ups in this
recourse.
situation. Yeah, you ain't got no recourse. You ain't got no leverage, none of that shit. Like I don't got to listen to nothing you say right now. And now there's someone else in my ear. If I'm Jesse being Jane, who I'm taking the advice over yours right now, and I got $480,000, so I really don't got to listen to you no more. We did the thing. The thing that you came to me with, let's cook meth and make money. We did that. 480 is cool for me if I'm Jesse. I can start making plans like we out of here. This not only do you should you not want to hear from me again, I never want to talk to you again. I got my girl, I got the money, I ain't got no ties to this. I'm out of here. It's over with. So just give me my
Great
money. I
point.
don't want to hear shit you gotta say.
Yeah,
Great point.
this sealed her fate.
In what sense? Oh, you
Hmm.
think this is cause and effect?
Yep.
Well,
We'll talk about that when we get there.
they made that decision though, because that's what I was gonna ask y'all to tie the next scene in. Like when you right there, you counting that money. What's your next move?
Yeah, they can't. So one
The
of the
next
things I like about
move.
this scene. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the next move. If you for real ain't, let's finish the rest of this dope off.
Nah, that's
Like I
what.
got 480 grand right here. Like we can leave right now.
But
We
we
can get
saw
on a
them.
bus to a plane to a whatever it may be. We good or we can go do something until like the last thing you probably want to do is get high if you seriously thinking about not getting high no more. But you probably ain't seriously being that way with 480. I could see I ain't being obtuse. I could see where two people that like to get down. If you got 480, that's even all the more reason to get down.
That's why
It
Walt didn't
ain't
want to
yeah,
give it up to him, and
100%.
we saw them. First of all, great acting by both of them in this scene. That the pure, genuine shock and excitement of looking at $480,000 in cash and just saying, "Yo, this is life changing money." Um, it'll pay for a new life in New Zealand, all of that. But Jane is the one that was saying, we better than this. We're not gonna shoot this up our arms. We're gonna get clean. Let's just go ahead and dump these needles out, flush them down the toilet right now, and start tonight. We go to rehab tonight, get clean, and enjoy this money. But that's like going over your girl's house to break up and think y'all ain't gonna fuck that last time. It just is what it is. Like you know what I mean? It's just one more. Or we cool. You say you ain't gonna do it, but next thing come on outside. Now you in the backseat sweating. So it's just one of those moments, and we knew and they knew, but they wanted to say the right things. They wanted to convince themselves that they were capable of it, but that's some strong shit they fucking with, and they just
Does that
couldn't.
remove the empathy for y'all? Because it does for me. Like, I don't feel sorry for whatever may happen to them. If like the next step that you made, because like I understand the most convenient step or the step that's going to most likely happen. I get that, but if you're talking about looking at it as a viewer, and I'm like, well, damn, I feel sorry for them. I don't because like you had an option at this point, and you still chose the other way, which is what we thought you would do, and you did it. So I don't feel sorry for you.
So here's what I'll say about that. I'll say that similar. These last two episodes are very interesting to me because a lot of the things that I started out saying about my rewatch and how I remembered the show, they're gonna start to flip between this episode and next episode. Where I still have a lot of understanding for Skylar, but I also can see where I'm like, Skylar, yo, you doing chill. I don't blame her, but it is a little bit of like, yo, you doing a little, you got too much dip on your chin. I said I saw Jesse as more of like a moral compass and sympathy of the show, but now it's turning into nah, Jesse. Like the stuff that I remembered about you, this is what is showing up. Like and you hate to see it go that far. And like I said, especially if you've seen addiction up close, you have a little bit of feel for it, but you also understand like it just is what it is. Like, I don't have anything towards Jesse. Like, I understand. I accept that you're never gonna change. What's more frustrating is Walter continue to have Jesse around. That's what's most frustrating because he's no business even benefiting from this. So yeah, Jesse's full on frustrating mode from this point on. Like, I know you got a disease. I know it's fucked up, but bro, you piss me off, and you can't be this dumb. Like, your stupidity is going to new levels now. So that's what I'll say about that. How about that?
I agree.
You agree with Rich?
I agree with Rich.
Fair enough. That's all to really say about that scene, and Jane cleaning up and them figuring that out. But Walt is at the bar. He's supposed to be out here getting diapers, man. He goes to the bar. He orders a fat tire beer. Skylar calls once again. Walt doing what he does. I've never seen a motherfucker lie and just dumb lies. Dumb lies. I know you can't tell your wife who's at home with a newborn when you're supposed to be getting pampers at you at the bar, but just let the phone go to voicemail, my niggas. I don't know. Like,
That's even worse if you walk though.
but then you don't hear that music in the background? You think this nigga walking in come on, man, stop it. Um,
Good point.
you know what I mean? He got that loud ass
But
music.
you
He
know,
plays
Walt
on.
can't not answer the phone though. Like you already done,
You're
that's
right.
that's he done so like that's why I sympathize with Skylar so much more now because he already done so much dumb shit up to this point. We ain't even in season 3 yet. Like you
That's
already
fair.
done eliminated being gone. Like you can't be gone for 2 hour stretches without somebody thinking something. You
Mm-hmm.
can't not answer the phone no more. Like they just so much shit that you already done X'd off the platform. So
Yeah, that's a fair point. If you Walt doesn't see, and once again, I don't know if the show did this on purpose. His ego is so large he doesn't even see the compromises in the situation for it. You already gotta go get Pampers, Walt. Grab you a 6 pack and just sit in the living room and have your brew. You don't have to be in the room with Skylar. Sometimes that is your peace and your solitude. Like, there's things you can do. I understand there is nothing like just having a day and just needing to go to the bar and just getting a drink, whatever the case was. I think, for some men that's therapeutic. But also, hey, bro, I already missed my daughter's birth. How dare I have the audacity to
and
fuck
you still
around in a
playing
moment
get
like
back.
this?
Yeah, you still playing get
Yeah.
back.
Like, it's
You
just
still
kind
in
of
the
wild.
doghouse.
That's what I'm saying. It's just wild for him to even try to pull this off. The audacity of Walter is crazy. But either way, he's ordering this. Skylar calls. She's playing the whole game. Then we hear a voice telling him that was a pretty good play. And that man, as we pan over, is Jane's dad. 6 degrees of separation is a real thing. I know a lot of people might be saying, "Oh, that might be a little convenient," but trust me, 6 degrees of separation is real. I was thinking today, I'm one person removed from, uh, and it's in a weird way. It sounds crazy. I'm one person removed from LeBron James and Jay Z. I know that sounds funny, but I know someone. They don't know Jay, but I know someone who was very close with Emory Jones and has met and shake hands with Jay Z. And when I say I know this person, I can pick them up. Picked up. I can call them right now. They pick up the phone. And I also went to high school and hooped with someone who was college teammates with one of LeBron's high school teammates, and not just like a random teammate, like one of the Fab Five. And I just thought to myself how funny it is that I have direct connection to these two people, but I'm so far away from the other two. You know what I mean? So it's funny when you think about that. But I say all that to say this isn't much of a shocker that these two
Now
dudes will be in the bar.
it ain't drawn out. This just happened to me Saturday. Like I was out somewhere and I met this young lady and she was like, "Oh well, we were in line together." She was talking to me and we were exchanging pleasantries back and forth. She's like, "Oh, I'm waiting on my friends." And then she's like, "Well, they'll be here in a minute. You mind if I hang out with you till my friends get here?" And she going through her phone showing me her friends, and one of her friends was one of my
Took her
best
down?
friends' baby mama. Nah,
Oh.
one of her friends was one of my best friends' baby mama. Like she's scrolling through the phone book, and I'm like, hold on, I know her. I like that's my brother. That's his baby mom's. It's like, oh yeah, that's my friend that I'm waiting on. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, like you said, this does happen.
I love asking Spike little questions just to see his reaction. Uh, talk about expression acting. Um, it does happen, and there's small talking at the bar about Mars, water being on Mars. Walt actually breaks it down on a scientific level and what they could do with that information. Um, he overheard Walt talking about getting pampered, so we asked him, what did you have? A little girl, congratulations. The Jane's dad mentioned he has a 20 soon to be 27-year-old. This is his only child. Gives advice to just love them because of they are who they are. That's all you can control. Just love them because that's all you can do. Walt mentions that he has an adult nephew, and we know he's talking about Jesse, but it's frustrating. You can't live life with them. Try to give you the game. Try to tell you what's what, but you're too caught up in your own shit to figure it out. And Jane's dad gives some advice and say, you can't give up on family ever. What else is there? And this really resonates with Walt. Any thoughts on this bar scene before we get to the finale and what Walt does with this information and this inspiring speech?
It's a reach. Yeah, we've
Which
been in
part?
the foxhole together. Y'all are writing the things you say about like, yeah, we played on a football team with teammates, all these near death experiences that we have, cooking in the desert, getting rid of the two people. Yeah, we have a history. But for him to have that conversation with Jane's dad, who's talking about his actual daughter, and then Jesse's talking about, I mean, excuse me, Walt's thinking about Jesse and portraying Jesse as his nephew, like it still don't resonate like that. Like, this not your family though. This is a junkie. This is a dude who chose himself to take this money and go on about his life, and it's like not like, I don't give a fuck what you say. He's told you that. So I ain't saying he should be easy to let it go, but I don't know if it would have hit hard enough for him to pull back up. I'll say that.
I might be able to get with you there. Like maybe the next day or whatever the case was, but I don't know if it was tugged at his
Yeah,
heartstrings
and
to
we
the
pulling
point
back up
where
tonight.
I'm leaving straight. And once again, you still ain't been home with them Pampers, bruh. Am I gonna risk all of that to go over to Jesse's and try to talk it out with him?
Facts.
Mo, what you think?
Yeah, I mean, I get what they were going for, but I'm with you. It didn't push you over the hill to say, "Oh, I got to go back." But I do think, again, and this is just me. I do think that he does care for Jesse to some degree, and I think that's what made him go back. Like, because he really didn't feel good about giving him that money. So maybe he's just a double, like checking in, like, "Hey, if we ain't seeing each other no more, if this is the last time we're gonna see each other, I just want to make sure you're good." Like, you know what I mean? So I think it was something along those lines. Again, like we know Walter's selfish, all these characters selfish, but they are human. So there are these small things of them caring at moments. They're not good people or whatever, but they all care at certain moments. And I think there's a moment he actually does care.
Nah. Uh, that's the only thing that could sell me on it, is what you just said, Mo. Like, I have to really buy into the Walt caring about Jesse. And if you can get there, then this scene makes sense. But otherwise, it just seems a little bit far fetched. But not far fetched to the point where it ruins anything for you. It's just you want to understand the motive. I don't know if Jane's dad was that inspiring
No.
to the point where I got to check in. I got to call my loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And not just call, but pull up in person. It just seemed like a lot. Um, but we see Walt pull up to Jesse. He wants to talk it out. Tries the front door, no answer. Goes around to the back, breaks in the house again, just using the same entry he used last time. You see Jane and Jesse in the bed, sleep and high again. Of course, Walt's disappointed, tries to wake Jesse up, and he looks defeated when all of a sudden he hears Jane vomiting. Walt's instincts, his immediate human instincts, have him get up and run over there, and then his brain clicks in. You say, you know what? Is it the worst thing if Jane kind of just vomits and gets up out of here? Is that the worst thing in the world for me in my life? And he literally watches Jane choke on her own vomit until she dies. Walt has a cold but emotional stare. You see him getting emotional about it, but he's still, that Heisenberg stare is mixed in with the Walter White emotions, to
Mm-hmm.
your point, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how the episode ends. Fellas, I remember watching this the first time and thinking to myself, this is one of the most heinous things I've probably ever seen happen.
This is very dark.
I want to get y'all reactions on this, and what it made you think of, if there's any relation to like another show, anything of that nature, where you just see, because they use this device to where the vomit kind of happened naturally. She didn't have to force it. So when it looks like it's spitting up, that's because there's a device in there, and that's what happened with it. Also, I don't know if y'all noticed, there's been multiple accounts from like the actor who played Jane as well as Anna Gunn, that after this scene was shot, Bryan Cranston spent 10 to 15 minutes in the corner crying, like bawling. He was emotionally at that point because he was thinking of his own daughter being in that position. Like, in his autobiography, he led in his autobiography in the first chapter, I believe, about this scene and how it changed him as an actor. Like he really got deep into this. So, and also there was a Walt was a not Walt. Bryan Cranston was opposed to this scene because he was like the original script had him pushing Jane down to make her choke, and Bryan Cranston was like, I don't know if Walt's there yet. I don't know if he's that person. Like, that just seems a little bit too heinous. And he said, how about she's on her side, and when Walt tries to wake up Jesse, she rolls over, and then it happens that way. So Vince Gilligan compromised. He took both the ideas and combined them to where we get this scene that we have right now. So I thought all of that was just very interesting in how they constructed it. But I'd love to get y'all thoughts about, like I said, y'all first time watching it, revisiting it now, and this big moment of Walt letting a person die when he could save him.
I feel like this was Walt's fault. It took me a couple rewatches to probably come to that, but even with this one, like one, if he had never came there, she would have been knocked on her back because he wouldn't have been trying to wake up Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know the etiquette of drug users and the significance of him knocking her on her back when he's trying to wake up Jesse. That was a good pull that you just had there as far as the behind the scenes stuff, because it is so subtle. The first time that you watched this, I remember, like you said, just being it truly disturbing and just being like, damn, Walt watched that lady die. But he contributed way more to her death than I ever considered in my first watches of it in this rewatch versus this rewatch, because I am against anti-Walt now. And I'm looking at it like, one, he should have never been there. They had already set themselves up how they needed to be post getting high. They were on their side. They knew what they were supposed to do. Two, he violently is trying to wake up Jesse. And for what? What kind of conversation you finna have with him while he high like this?
Mm-hmm.
Like you talking about a lifetime decision. This shit could have waited till the morning, but the analness of Walt to like to be so self-centered, to feel like I gotta have this conversation now. I feel like with any relationship, one of the best things that you can do, and this is male female relationships, friendship relationships, when you know you and someone need to have a talk but they not ready to have that talk, and they can tell you, not right now, bro. And you can process it, and we can continue, like we can do whatever it is we need to talk about whenever they get ready to talk about it, but just not right now. And this was a not right now moment for Jesse. Like, nigga, I'm not to say that it was right or wrong, but I got my shit figured out with my girl and my money right here. I don't want to talk to you about that right now. And that's something that Jesse should have been able to relay versus Walt just coming to break in their house and trying to force him to talk right now. And all of that, I feel like those actions led to Jane's death, which indirectly all are attributed to Walt. At the very least, it's manslaughter.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
Breakdown. That's a great breakdown.
it is. I think again, just this episode, we don't get a lot of this. I think it's some like I'm looking at Walt's reaction. I'm trying to figure out, what is he thinking? What is he feeling? And I'm thinking about, of course, the first thing we're thinking is, oh, I could benefit off of this if she's gone. But I think watching it this time, I that is a part of it. But there's also this thought of, I'm doing this for Jesse, because there's nothing I could say that would get him to leave her alone. And he's gonna be worse off with her than, even though that's not his decision to make. He's not the standard of decision making or the guardian of Jesse. But I think that's one flurry of thought. Then there's another flurry of thought. I got a daughter of my own. What if this happened? What if she grows up to become this? And then also the conversation that was had at the bar. I was just trying to more so gather all of the with the facial acting, just gathering where he was going with it. And yeah, this is where I was like, wow, okay, this is where the show is going. Because it was just like, damn. And again, you get that moment of him crying, and then you get, and there's a funny you bring it up, Rich. There's a scene in Creed where it didn't make it in the movie, but I know you probably seen it, about Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone. Like when he would start getting sick in the movie, and he said that there was this moment where they both start crying for real. Well, Michael B started crying for real, and he started, because he was like he recognized something that triggered something of a family member that he had, had lost in that way, and that's what made me think about it when you just said what you said. So, it is a tough scene, and I mean that's really great acting from her, just to be in it so much and believe that she's gone. I remember the first time watching, I really hated it because the thing is they did a good job of making us like Jane first. So when she got on this villainous tear of being on drugs and pulling our boy Jesse away, they're trying to, in the first watch I'm like, well, I guess that's what it is. She's corrupting Jesse. But this time I was like, bro, we really liked her on the onslaught, and then it just kind of went downhill. So yeah, it's a tough scene. It's one of the most memorable scenes ever in Breaking Bad. It's probably it's for sure top 10.
Yeah, nah, and that's real, and that's a great breakdown as well. I also thought it was you know, they mentioned Jane was going to turn 27 next month. I don't know how many people know about the 27 Club, like the
James
musicians and
Dean,
actors and
Pop.
all that. Yeah, like people that died 27 and all that. Just
Mm.
the little small breadcrumbs they put in there. And even Jimi Hendrix kind of died in a similar way. He, I forget the medical term, but he choked, vomited. So yeah, all of it, man. It's a. I was telling the fellas, or I was telling Spike Lee earlier before Mo jumped on. This was the episode where I immediately wanted to watch the next one. And this is the first time in the series. It took us a long time, but I immediately wanted to see how did this season end? What happened and all that stuff. And I think they wrap everything up perfectly. But before we get out of here, we want to make sure we want to make sure we give you our categories. So we're going to run into the most interesting plot between Jesse and Walt. Who had the more interesting plot and storyline?
Jesse for me this episode. Trying to figure it out with his girl, trying to get his money from Walt, thinking that you got robbed. Like there was so many things, like life changing things. I know
Hmm.
Walt had a baby and things of that nature, but for Jesse, this is like this legit what he been praying for. You got $400,000. You got the girl of your dreams. You got the world by the balls. To
Yeah,
quote Tony Soprano.
yeah,
So that was really interesting.
that's
Great point.
that is. I'm going Walter. I as egotistical as he is, I found his story a little more interesting. Like with
It's
this,
fascinating.
yeah, more fascinating scene with Saul, of course.
No, it's fascinating that you think that.
Oh yeah, well, I'm a fascinating person. Uh, digital,
Fascinating answer.
digital, digital begging, like
Fascinating exchange.
right,
Digital
digital,
begging is fucking hilarious. That nigga was disgusted with the idea
right,
of his name being plastered on the ad for money. That
yeah.
nigga was sick.
Because you got to remember he was already a few episodes back where he was on missing poster. And he was naked in the store, like he hates being embarrassed, obviously. But the
Real
hospital
shit.
scene, the phone call scene, just dropping off on him like that because I ain't got time for the stupid shit. Him pulling up at the school and just still dogging him and Jane, and then the last scene, him pulling back up and that all going down. So I found his story or his plot a little bit more interesting on this episode.
That's fair. I rock with it. I'm gonna go with Jesse as well, just because Walt being a scumbag just isn't new. Like, he just it's almost comical at this point. It's almost like his own inside joke. Take a shot whenever Walt lies on the phone or whatever the case is. So yes, it is good. It is very good. Mo, everything you said, I agree with. But Jesse and him having someone that he genuinely loves, and she's actually running the show. I just thought that was more fascinating. Even
Mm.
from the beginning of him thinking that he got robbed. Like all of this from beginning to end was just very interesting and frustrating. Don't get me wrong. But I'm gonna go with Jesse slightly. It's not far, but slightly.
Fair.
What was your favorite conversation this episode?
Hmm.
I go Jesse and Jane's dad. I mean, excuse me, Walt and Jane's dad.
Okay.
Insightful, kind of gives you some input. Like Jane's dad speaking from a place of hurt, speaking from a place of like, I've been through the ups and downs with this in my daughter, and offering advice to Walt, who's lying. This is not his nephew. He don't really care about him like a nephew. I don't believe. I know other people may believe that Walt does care more than I think he does. Just the context of this relationship and how that plays out to what we see happening with his daughter actually dying from the words that he's telling Walt. Because it's not because it's bad advice, it's because Walt is a piece of shit human being. And he's trying to manipulate this situation and use genuine advice from someone who actually cares about someone and trying to go apply that to Jesse when he doesn't have good intentions at all. So
Well said. Well said. Mo, did you answer? My bad.
Um, I'm teetering between the Saul conversation and the school. I go with the Saul. I think that this is one of the few places where Walter can be Walter and Heisenberg. And we talked about the show could benefit from Melfi like scenes, and this is probably one of those. Getting the full insight of what's going on with him mentally, and who better than Saul? And plus, seeing Saul on screen this time around is just gold. So I'm going with that one.
Okay, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. I'm going to go with your other one. I'm gonna go with the school scene. Um, just had a lot of. I love the ambiguity of what is Walt's play. Does he genuinely care? Because you got the moment of like, I'm gonna hold it for you till you get better. Pee in the cup. It's got the audacity once again. Pee in the cup. It's got Jesse kind of speaking up for himself. I love that Jesse's not really concerned. Like to see Jesse directly say, "So what's up with my bread, bro?" Like no small talk, no none of that. What I do, nigga, I was on my day off, all that shit. All of that was just great. And it lets you know this is the beginning of sometimes you can have two friends or two people that there's some tension, but then there's a moment where it's like, oh, the relationship will never be the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's still that moment where, all right, we can work through this, but then it reaches a point where, all right, it'll never happen. This is different. Even if we are cool, even if we work together again, it'll never be what it was. This was that scene for me between Jesse and Walt and the junkie girlfriend. Too much shit. Jesse was just fed up, and you saw this is never going to mesh the way it should. So that's going to be my answer for this category. The next one is I'm scrolling down my notes. My bad. Went all the way up. All the way up. All right, we got best scene. It's the best scene of the episode.
The last scene.
yeah, last scene.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's the most memorable. All of that. It's the best scene of the episode.
Absolutely.
Who took the half measure?
Jane's dad. If he had stood on his guns, his daughter probably may still be alive. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's been doing it for 20 years though. That's why I can't.
Yeah, but you ain't got to go to rehab right now. But it ain't no pickup in the morning conversation. He out of here. Gone. Let's get him gone. You coming to the crib with me. We going to the rehab spot in the morning. It ain't no more phone calls need to happen. I'm not leaving you by yourself with this dude while he living here. Like, nah, that's a half measure. That's exactly what Mike was explaining when he talked. Well, that's exactly what we learned what a half measure is to be later on in this series.
Oh, you're right. We're
you could have did this right now.
Yeah, if y'all listen to our the audio version of the podcast, y'all hear Mike in the intro, and that's the reference. So y'all know when that episode comes up. That's a great point that you just said that.
Absolutely, that was good.
That's perfect, actually. I'm gonna go Jesse. Just because like he never really was aggressive about getting his money. Again, he's always so passive aggressive with Walt because he still is in awe of Walt at the same time. Like, man, no matter how much cash he's talking, Jane had to be the one to get the money for him basically and go to him like that. He him and Jane go to bed, and obviously you're too high to protect your girl. Like that's something you got to consider. Like when people do what they do in their spare time on their off days, Jesse put it. But you can't be too inebriated that you can't protect your girl, because things like this could happen. I mean, obviously this is a wild example, but it's but things like this can happen if you're too inebriated to actually protect your girl. So he took the half measure by far for me, and we're gonna find out just how far a half measure he took in the next episode.
I'm gonna go a little bit out the box, and I'm going to say, I'm gonna say it was Holly. Holly being born into a fucked up family in a fucked up world, man. She took the half measure this episode.
Acid Jackson about to have something to say about that.
Life will never be normal. It's gonna be Holly for me, man. Like, there's nothing worse than seeing a kid just like, damn, man, it's fucked up for you out here. It's fucked up for you out here. Who took the full measure? Who's the MVP of our restaurant, of our episode? Excuse me.
Ted. Hey, listen. He not only did he get her last episode to overlook his scheming, but now let me be extra supportive so that I can kind of push that further and further away from your conscience, and then also I'm building towards something else. And that's what better, like, you know how many points you just earned? Taking her to the hospital, staying after the baby's delivered, walking off the kiss on.
That's nasty.
Yeah, he got
nasty.
A full measure for Ted, man.
That is nasty.
I thought about that. I contemplated on that one too. I ain't gonna hold
Ooh,
you.
that's nasty. Mine is Saul.
Okay.
It ain't even a lot of scenes. It's just one pivotal scene that's very key to the main storyline of what's going on. And the reason that we love Saul as a character is I'm providing answers. You can go do this egotistical shit and say you don't want it to be this and you don't want it to be that, but I've given you at least 3 good solutions. I gave you a solution with the uncle thing. The thing you said, Mo, that he even bring up as far as the lawsuit thing, I gave you the donate to the website thing. We can fix this problem that you have, but you just choosing to be obtuse about it. So you saw.
Sidebar, real quick. That how Saul had to deal with his brother is why he's so fit to be able to deal with it.
Facts.
So that's
because his brother is like Walt on steroids.
Super ego. So
I didn't think about that. That's
perfect
a great
writing.
point.
Perfect writing.
I didn't think about that until y'all just said it. That's a great point. Damn, man, who is it?
You said yours was Holly, dude.
No, that's the
half measure.
Oh, the half measure. Yeah, you're right.
Walt Jr.
Nah.
Look what I did, dog.
I mean, he's stepping up. He's changing diapers, making websites.
He's stepping up.
Little shit. Come on,
he's stepping up.
y'all going too far, man.
He's stepping up.
He got a leg up on the competition.
He's got a real
song. Yeah, this is a good one.
Oh, shit.
I think
he gave a real kickstart to the campaign.
Who did you say, Lou?
I gave it to Saul.
You gave it to Saul. And Mo, who you say? You said
Ted.
I'm gonna go with that. That was honestly, I was contemplating Ted. I wasn't expecting anybody to say it, but since you did, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Ted as well.
That's nasty.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ted, man. Ted put that work in.
He
Shout out to
is, though.
Ted, man. Taking advantage of
playing the long game.
Yeah, man. Wait, man. Boyfriend number 2. Nigga don't care, bro. We about to get this shit popping. Shout out to Ted, man. Not for real, but shout out to Ted.
Shout out to Ted.
Lastly, how are you ranking this episode? Is this a mid-pack, 96.2, or a Blue Magic?
96.2. The Breaking Bad, I don't know if I can, and maybe I could stand corrected, but I don't know if I can give any of these Blue Magic when you don't have the drug business in the episodes. I think
interesting.
That might be as good as it can get with Breaking Bad versus Sopranos and how I feel about those episodes. So
yeah, I'm of agreement. 96.2, because there's really nothing Breaking Bad-ish happening here. You know what I'm saying? There's just some dope scenes, some memorable scenes, some good conversations, but the progression of the series, we could still. This was a way more entertaining episode, but the complaints that we've had up until now are still relevant. Nothing is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Even with this episode, nothing happened really to what we tune in for, which is Walter and Jesse moving drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm going Blue Magic.
Okay.
As I mentioned, I think that it's it. And I've said this a few times about it being the one. But I will just use my genuine, oh, I gotta watch the next episode reaction after watching this. It feels like the show is finally hitting its groove and what it wants to be. I thought it was just fascinating from top to bottom, from the themes throughout the show, and my enjoyability of it. So I'm going Blue Magic. I know I'm solo on this one, but I'm gonna put this up there with one of them ones. It was the what am I trying to say? It was 93, 9.3
Mm-hmm.
out of 10 on
It's
IMDb.
it's one of the best civilian episodes of Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, okay, all right, that's fair. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to argue with that
Mm-hmm.
or say that it can be in its own category.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to look up the ranking for the actual for
Yeah.
the Ringer, what they rated this. I'm pulling it up right now, so give me 1 second. Looks like they had this at 17 out of 62, 17th best episode of the series. I know y'all
Mm-hmm.
disagree with that. I think that's a little bit too high, but it is good. I think it's Blue Magic when it's all said and done.
Okay.
uh-huh.
All right. With that being said, that's another episode for us. If you want to reach out, you can reach out on Instagram, NMHM underscore Breaking Bad Pod at gmail.com. Or excuse me, NMHM underscore Breaking Bad Pod on Instagram. No more half measures pod at gmail.com. With that being said, we'll catch y'all next week for the season finale of season 2. Keep cooking. So your line, Mo.